So this is a chart about vaccine efficacy, and I just wanted to show you. So the Moderna and the Pfizer are kind of midway down, and they're 94, 95% effective with 2 doses. And then it compares it against other vaccines like flu and chickenpox and such, right? And the AstraZeneca is 70, and people are like, oh, well, that one's 70, and I want the one that's 90. And, here's the thing about all of this, right? It's all good, all of it. All right, don't get hung up on these numbers. We would have been thrilled with 50% or more. And seeing 90% and it being legitimate is mind-blowing, okay? So don't think that AstraZeneca is no good because it's only 70%. All of them are great, and you can't go wrong with any one of them. Even the Chinese and the Russian candidates, which are different mechanisms of action, are like 70, 90% effective, right? And if we can validate that data, of course, because we don't want any shady stuff going on, we could use that here without a problem, right? They're all good. So then if I get this vaccine, how long does my protection last? And this is another one where we go, I don't know. We have no idea, right? The longer answer is probably 2 to 3 years is how long you'll have protection against COVID if you get the vaccine. Because coronavirus mutations really happen at about that rate. We know that most of our immunity for coronaviruses or viri are about 2 to 3 years. So we're expecting that. In fact, the Moderna CEO literally today, January 7th, 2021, said the protection will be probably a couple of years. That's his exact quote. So then the question is, how long does it take to work? Or can I drive directly to the bar after I get my shot? Which is what I asked my wife. Can we do that? Can we? Because everybody's going to the bar. What is so good about the bar? What am I missing? Right. So Pfizer said in their briefings and the FDA analysis, as reported by the New York Times, that you'll actually have a 52% efficacy after 10 days of the first dose. That's amazing. Amazing. There's 95% efficacy about 7 days after the second dose. Okay, the Moderna vaccine didn't do the first dose analysis, okay, but they do know that it's 92-ish% effective 14 days after the second dose, right? So we're not going to be able to let our guard down right away. Like you can't get the dose, go to the sports bar. You have to keep your guard up for a little bit. But I think once you get that vaccine, you can at least breathe a little bit easier. So then really the question is, if I'm showing these charts about efficacy, talking about all the numbers and talking about how long it works and how long it'll last, what does that really mean for you, right? That's the big question. What is this going to do? So vaccines will help your body identify and fight an infection, and that's it. It doesn't mean you're not going to get sick. It doesn't mean you can't get exposed to the stuff, right? You're not making a protective shield. This isn't Star Trek. Vaccines aren't 100% effective. Somebody with rampant COVID could cough in your face, and the virus would try to set up shop in your body just like it would with somebody who didn't have the vaccine. But because of the vaccine, your body's going to be more than equipped to respond both quickly and over a long period of time. That's how our immune system works. There's an initial response, and then there's a delayed response. And it's going to successfully clear out the infection without much assistance at all. So you can still get sick, but it would often be very mild, and you probably will avoid hospitalization.